Hey there, I'm John,
And I'm Josh.
and we're talking to you about the 2019 college football season, and we're going to be looking at week 3 preview. Honestly, this is probably a good week to cut your grass or trim some bushes or something like that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of exciting games. I think maybe before the season started, maybe they thought some of these could have been exciting, but ultimately they're turning out not to be.
No,
Very
they're really
enticing.
not.
So let's start off with number 2 Alabama is going to be playing South Carolina, and if you guys remember, South Carolina lost that season opener to North Carolina, and then they went on to beat Charleston Southern, which of course they're going to beat Charleston Southern.
Yeah. So North Carolina
Shame on
just
them.
went on, and they just beat Miami last week.
Yeah.
So I think they're a decent
So it's
team.
not that
and,
North Carolina's a bad team.
Yeah, and Mac Brown is a great coach too.
Yes,
and,
but
he's
they're going to be
out of
They're going to be facing Alabama, Tua, Jerry Jeudy. A lot of pretty big.
Whatever the
arsenal
spread is for Alabama to win, it's going to be worse. I don't even see this being in the ballpark of a 40-point ball game.
Yeah.
So
another one that initially was going to be a at least 2 ranked teams in the top 25.
and they're still both technically undefeated.
Yes,
It's just Iowa State, I'm pretty sure, had a bye week,
Well-
and so they got shoved out of the rankings.
and then Iowa State, though, when they were playing Northern Iowa, they had a triple overtime
Against
win
Northern
against
Iowa?
Northern Iowa.
Really?
UNI,
Wow.
and so that was enough to make everybody go, "What's going on here? Why are they struggling against UNI?" So
Yeah, when was the last time game day was at a non-ranked state?
That is true.
I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
So all in all, probably not that interesting of a matchup.
Yeah.
That being said, Iowa's a decent team. Iowa State has Iowa's number a lot of the times that they play.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why they chose this. It's a good rivalry game.
And
Battle of
Iowa's
the
not really tested. I mean, they beat Rutgers handily.
I do think Iowa wins this.
Yeah.
I do think they win.
Then you have number 9 Florida, which I think is ranking them a little low because Florida.
You mean high? Like too high?
Yeah, too high. In other words, too good.
Yeah.
And so number 9 Florida facing Kentucky. We know what happened last year. Kentucky came in and won this game, and that was an upset. This would definitely be an upset if Kentucky won this again. But Kentucky has beat so far Toledo and Eastern Michigan, so they have not been tested yet. Florida, they squeezed by Miami.
Which Miami's not looking too great right now.
In the week 0.
They've now lost.
They're not.
What,
That's right. That's
two
right.
games, one to North Carolina as well. So I really do think you should watch out. I think Florida wins, but
Kentucky comes into this game like ready.
I'm telling you,
they're ready to win,
Kentucky's
so.
not the little bottom dweller SEC team they used to be.
Yeah.
They're not great,
But they at least this will be a good test for them. And it's in front of a home crowd, which will be good for Kentucky.
Kentucky, I hope y'all win this, but I do think Florida ends up getting the dub.
Yeah. Then we have number 1 Clemson, and they were going to be facing a ranked Syracuse, and once again, not Syracuse. They beat Liberty the first week. Everybody beats Liberty, but then they got destroyed by Maryland last week. If you guys remember,
just murked.
So that just made this game completely uninteresting.
Yeah, so Clemson's going to go in there. If Maryland tore them up offensively, it's probably going to be another top team winning by 40 plus points.
Yeah, most likely.
Typical of what the year's been so far.
That's what we're expecting here. So then we have number 6 Ohio State. Weren't really going to mention this one, but they're going to be playing at Indiana. Indiana, they've beat nobody so far, even though they're coming in with 2 wins. They only beat Ball State and Eastern Indiana. So
it's at Indiana.
Yeah. No.
It's another chance to see Fields go for 400 plus yards, unless they take him out before he gets that opportunity. It'll be bad. I said last week Ohio State might lose to Cincinnati, and we saw it happen. So I'm not going to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
Ohio State wins by a lot.
What could be interesting this week is upsets.
Okay.
So apparently you've got a number of them for us.
I do. So I'm 1-4 so far this year.
1-4.
So my new mindset is I need to pick a lot of teams to be on upset alert. That way I at least
20?
get 1 or 2,
Okay.
So a couple of these, as a matter of fact, all of these I feel decent about.
Okay.
Whenever I say Ohio State's going to lose or something, that's probably more wishful thinking. But these, I think every single one of these could happen. I don't think they all will, but I at least think 2 of them are going to happen.
All right. So let's talk about them.
Upset number 1, Hawaii at Washington.
Okay.
All right.
And Washington's ranked 23rd.
Right. They just came off that defeat against Arizona.
A big loss to Cal.
Yes. Did I say Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah, I meant Cal.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, Chris Peterson loses to Cal.
Hawaii's beat Arizona.
That's it. Hawaii
beat Arizona, and then they beat Oregon State.
Right. So
both close games. They barely pulled. I mean, they were like behind by 2 touchdowns to begin with. Came back and won both of those games.
And I don't think either of those teams are too great in terms of Power 5 teams, but that's still 2 Power 5 teams that they did beat. They have the offensive power to be able to win this game. Defensively, obviously, they're trash. They can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
That being said, Washington's offense right now isn't really flashy. Yeah. So Hawaii, if they can have the lead early on, can win this game. Because, Washington will come back, but they just got to get a quick lead over Washington and try to keep that the entire game.
All right.
Your
next one.
Number 2. FSU at Virginia. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. You're only saying this because you're a Boise State fan. You need FSU to do good. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
But they have the talent. They really do. And every game they played, against Boise State, against UL Monroe, they get this massive lead in the first half, and they just blow it in the second. Okay?
And honestly, even though Virginia's number 25, they haven't been tested yet either. They beat Pitt handily. I mean, they beat them well, and then they played William and Mary. So, I mean, they really haven't been tested, so we don't know what they've got.
There's no way, talent-wise, Virginia matches up with Florida State. As a matter of fact, there's no way talent-wise that most teams match up with Florida State.
Yes.
So I figure eventually they're
going
to have to start figuring something out. Taggart, you got to win something. You have to. You have to be able to coach your team and have some kind of discipline. It doesn't take that much. Like if you can just get one of your sides of
discipline
the team,
is huge.
Offense or defense, just convince one of them to play football in the second half, and you'll start winning games.
Yeah.
So Florida State comes in, they beat Virginia. They have a massive lead in the first half, and it's a close game at the end. You heard it here first.
That sounds like the Seminoles. Okay.
All right. Game number 3. I have 4 of them, so just stay in your seat. There's a couple more coming. All right. This one is the team that I got right last week.
Okay.
USC at BYU.
They did beat Stanford last week. So
USC's ranked now, probably not deservedly. Just because they beat Stanford doesn't mean that they deserve to be ranked. That being said, they're going to BYU, who just beat Tennessee.
Yep.
You know they're loving life right now.
Oh, yeah.
And the only team they lost to is Utah, who is supposedly a dark horse for the playoffs.
Yes.
So, I don't think they're a bad team just because they lose to Utah. And it was close until the end, which the better teams always come out in the end. BYU cannot score offensively. They really can't.
Yeah.
But defensively, they're a pretty sound team, and I think they can stop USC. That being said, BYU wins in a close one at BYU.
All right. And that's USC. They've got a freshman quarterback, don't they?
Yes, they do. I'm pretty sure they're starting a freshman quarterback now. But
but that's working for a lot of teams this
all
year.
3 of those, it really is. It's the year of the freshman. But all 3 of those, I think can happen. Last year,
How about the last one?
And the year before that, I would always say this team is on upset alert.
Gosh.
And every single time I said they're on upset alert.
Anybody who's been following us at all, you know who he's talking about already.
Anytime I've said they're on upset alert, they just go in and absolutely destroy the opponents that they're going against.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm nervous to ever even say it because I feel like whenever I say they're going to lose, they win no matter what. That being said, Stanford is traveling to at USC. And I'm sorry about it. What did I say?
USC.
It's a struggle today. They're going at UCF, number 17 UCF.
Yes. Yep.
I honestly think Stanford has to win this game.
They have to.
In terms of respect and stuff, in terms of what they need. We said that about Tennessee. They didn't win. That being said,
hey, and honestly, UCF has not been tested either.
And they're not going to be.
Florida Atlantic, Florida somebody.
They're not going to be tested. They really, their schedule is as cake as it can get.
So this is one of their biggest games.
And this was their big game that they scheduled, and it's not even a big game anymore.
No.
Stanford's already got demolished by one team.
Yeah.
I just don't see Stanford losing this.
This would be rough on UCF to lose.
It would.
This, so.
And I can't be like, oh, Stanford's the bigger team and stuff like that, because my whole life I've cheered for a team that's always smaller, and yet they somehow win.
Yeah.
I just don't think UCF is as good as people think they are.
Okay.
And I don't think UCF is as good as they think they are.
All right.
That being said,
they do have that freshman quarterback, and he's actually, with Milton gone, he's actually playing pretty well.
He is,
but he has not been tested by a defense that's going to put pressure on him.
Yeah. So if Stanford gets pressure, if they can run it up the middle offensively, they can win this game.
Okay. All right. So that's week 3. with the upsets and everything. Again, cut that grass. We'll see you next time.
Go Broncos.